Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do is push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
What's up? Everybody out there doing the day. It's your boy, Coach Lee. Consistency times 10 is what we do. Happy Monday to y'all. Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to the Playcall sheet where we're going to dive into a couple of fine topics tonight. We're back at it like we're mad at it. But before we can get it jumped off for you, first of all, we got to get the crew up in here, man. And we got we're a little light tonight, but we still going to fight through it like we always do. But we're going to get our guys up in here first to get our things on and popping. Right off the bat, we got to bring my man in here. He's incognito tonight. But it's that man, Jiggity Jig from State Farm. What's happening, man?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Yeah, I was looking forward to the play call sheet tonight. I saw all the topics, and I'm like, hey, I got some good little nuggets to throw in here after what I was reading today. So, yeah, great weekend. Have some fun.
We had a great weekend, man. But man, we gotta get the third leg up in here. Say the best for last. Now he's back there, he hating on the Nuggets, but we talking football tonight. But it's all gravy, man. Gotta get my guy up in here. The man, Chili Wee. What's happening, man?
Going on, folks. I ain't hating on the Nuggets. I think they're gonna win. That's that man. He's the Heat fan.
I am not a Heat fan. I'm a Jimmy Butler fan, but I was really hoping that we could see an upset because, I like the underdog story and I like seeing, the underdogs pull through.
Not today.
Not today, folks. So who we got? We got Diggs up in here. We got Bobby up in here. What's good, fellas?
Shout out to y'all, fellas. Shout out to you. Appreciate you hanging out with your boys tonight. Doing the thing like we always do. Bobby, man. Salute to you, man. Bobby holding it down. He showed nothing but love every week.
Yeah, he been in the chat too. He been doing work.
And the Diggs ain't been in here in a while, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Absolutely. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
Coming back. We're not sure if you're actually Diggs.
Hey, so I know we got the little football talk going on right now, but I think I'm going to try to start doing something on Mondays for us. I'm going to just have a random sports question, and I want everyone in the chat, and I want you guys to included whenever he gets here or whenever he's on the show on Mondays. I want a certain question that belongs to sports on what you guys think is a better answer, or what your opinion is. In your guys' opinion, what do you think a more effective pitch is in baseball? The 12-6 curveball or the splitter? Now, you don't have to answer it right now. You can chew on it and think on it for a little bit. And then whenever you guys got your answer, at whatever point in the show, go on ahead and give your guys a little
Easy
answer.
for me already, splitter. 12-6 curve is just too hard to maintain for a lot of guys. Like if it's like prime Barry Zito, then okay, cool, like 12-6. But you know how many guys can really pull that off consistently without putting them right over the heart of the plate and getting them sent to the moon? Like,
Yeah,
I
it's going out.
Right. That's the problem with 12-6. If you don't locate, they'll relocate that shit for you. Like,
I wanted to. Will beat me to the punch, because when I am going to give these questions, I do already have my answer, and I do 100% agree with Will. I do think a 12-6 curveball is absolutely too dangerous to throw at any point unless you are very good at locating your fastball. If your fastball is on point and you know where you're throwing it, you can throw just about any other pitch that you want correctly and where you want it to go, because you're already in lock.
Yeah.
And a splitter, I just think that it has more movement to the sides, whether you're a left or a right, and you can really confuse someone thinking that's a fastball and they're going to miss every time. But a 12-6 goes too slow, and if you let that hang, just about any hitter in the league can send that to the moon, like you said.
But again, it really is about location and about what pitcher you got throwing it. If Greg Maddux is out there all day, give me the 12-6. Because
what you know about them pitchers, man?
Oh, I know.
Still on skateboard.
More of my baseball knowledge is from back then than it is now, because I haven't been watching as much lately. But yeah, if you got Greg Maddux out there, give me the 12-6. But anybody else, you got to split that up. Yeah, that 12-6, man, it'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll buckle some knees.
Oh, for sure.
And it'll be a souvenir too.
But thank you for the input, Will. Coach, you ain't got to answer right now, but if you got your answer, go right on ahead.
He just agreed. Yeah, I think this is pretty unanimous. I think most people will say this. I think the only people who will choose the 12-6 are people who can throw the 12-6. Like, they'll be like, nah, I want the 12-6 all day. But other than that, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, I just wanted to start off with a nice, easy rolling question. I'll make sure.
My man's shopping segments live, by the way. That just he had a whole 10 minutes fixing his headphones to shop that idea, and then he was like, "I don't even want any pushback." He's like, "I'm gonna ask for forgiveness instead of permission."
Exactly.
That's the way to do it, baby. That's the way to do it.
Here we go.
Absolutely. So, man, we got a whole lot of news of the day to cover, man. Obviously, got a lot of teams that had OTAs last week. Got a couple of them this week. But, man, just right off the bat, this one's a little bit it's kind of cryptic. That's Josh Jacobs. Is he going to joke from the Raiders?
Too many J's in that sentence.
Because he hadn't signed it, and they're saying that the too many J's. I know, right? So they're asking, are the Raiders going to rescind his franchise tag and sign Dalvin Cook? Who's a free agent now?
I mean, I wouldn't, but it depends on if you think you can get more out of Dalvin Cook for less, because he's going to be cheaper due to the injury history, the fact that he's a free agent right now. He's going to be cheaper than a outright franchise tag. So, with that said, yeah, if you can keep him healthy, this is probably a good move, fiscally, monetarily. It's probably
Look at you.
You know, it's a business savvy move.
Sound like a GM up in there.
Yeah, yeah, but again, you're gambling on health there. I guess at running back, yeah, it's always the gamble. But
yes, true.
But also, Josh Jacobs was arguably the best back in the league just for a single season last year. Like, his numbers all around were unbelievable. Maybe he wasn't the best, but he was close. Yeah. I mean,
but that's the thing. Exactly what Will said last year. Because if you remember 2 years ago, he wasn't as productive, nowhere near as productive as he was just last year. But if you're going off of just last year, which a lot of these players do, and how, you know, if you're coming up on a contract year, you play off pretty well. But at the same time, you don't know what running back you're getting. I saw within that article that RG3 was really coming at GM's throats saying, I don't like how running backs are getting treated nowadays.
Right.
It's like the running back shelf life of the now NFL for at least the last 20 years is you're only going to get anywhere from 6 maybe to 8 years of good running back out of these guys. There's no reason
That's
for
very
you to pay.
optimistic too.
Yeah, if you're not going to want to pay a massive amount of money right out of pocket, except after their rookie contract, if they've played that well. So at this point, I do like what Will said, that you can get a franchise friendly deal with, say, a Dalvin Cook or a Zeke Elliott than having to go after, a Josh Jacobs who wants this obscene amount of money.
So I misspoke. He did sign his contract, but under the current CBA, they can rescind that based on the rules and whatnot. Now he signed it and it's going to be 10.1 million to keep him this year. But under those same rules, like I said, they can actually rescind the franchise tag. And
why even have contracts? What a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now they have until July the 17th to sign him to a long-term deal, but it kind of also gives them some time to kind of see what's going on with with Cook. We'll talk about him a little bit later today and what he's got going on. But there is a connection with the coaching staff of the Raiders. Kennedy Palomalu, who was his running backs coach from his rookie year until 2021.
Any relation there?
You know what? I'm not sure. It doesn't say.
I feel like it has to be.
It has to be. That's not a normal name.
Yeah. I know exactly one Palomalu my entire life, and it was Troy. So
right. So there is that tie there, as far as history between the running back coach and Cook. So there's a little bit something to that. And those kind of two great choices. You can either have the opportunity to probably play in Miami or Vegas. Which team would you go to?
If I'm Dalvin,
yeah,
unquestionably Miami.
Because of the potential there.
Also, isn't he like a Florida kid? I know he went to Florida State, Dalvin. So
yeah, he went to Florida State. He was a Florida State running back.
And I assume I can make an assumption that he is actually from the state of Florida, probably.
That'd be a pretty good assumption.
It's just a fair one. It might not be the case, but I'm pretty sure he is. And if he is, why wouldn't you want to go home and play for a team that's rising right now, versus whatever the Oakland's going to be?
100%. Because I think that's not a landing spot many people would want to go to is Vegas. I don't think they're on the up and up. I don't think Josh Daniels is the answer. As much as I love Jimmy G and I stick up for him, I don't think he's the answer for quarterback. There's just a lot of things wrong with Vegas to where I don't know why anyone would want to go there to finish off their career possibly. But we get into Dalvin Cook a little bit later, so I'll hold the Dalvin Cook talk for that part. But
yeah,
it's just, I don't know. I think Josh Jacobs is better off as a Raider. I don't think playing this game that he's playing is going to be fun. But just what Bobby says right here, he hasn't talked to the franchise in months. He hasn't done a damn thing when it comes to the Raiders. So you don't really, I don't know.
Well, he's trying to take a stand because, he's trying to, as far as how the running backs are treated this day and age. But I don't think that's his fight to do that, though. No, it's kind of noble, but
look, it's noble. But you're Josh Jacobs. You're not going to win that fight, unfortunately.
No, you need to be a running back that's been consistent for the last 4 years. This needs to be like a hey, how you doing, brother? This needs to be like a Nick Chubb type of stance, a guy that's been consistent and done this year in and year out. And Nick Chubb hasn't gotten paid that much money, so he's the perfect guy for it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's just a quiet and run the ball down your throat kind of guy. He's not even really.
He's his own business type of guy.
Yeah, he's not making waves. He's just gaining first downs.
And I do have an update for you.
On.
He actually is the uncle of Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's neat.
Had to be.
And he was once the offense coordinator at USC.
Nice.
Also checks out. And
So
he must have been pissed when he gets his nephew there and then he doesn't get on that side of the ball though. He's on the defensive side. Son of a bitch. Troy could have been a running back, though. If you watch some of the moves that he makes after
Yeah.
interceptions and fumbles, that man, he had vision of a running back.
Vision, and he had the hips for it.
Yeah, he did. And he had that like fall forward, just put your nose down and go with the speed. He could have been a great running back. He just ended up.
He was just an
people.
all-around great athlete.
Yeah,
he
he
could
was
have done
unbelievable.
anything.
Yeah.
He could have done anything on that field for you.
Still one of my favorite things in football with his line jumps. Just the audacity to time those and get a sack as the guy's hiking it.
Yeah, and also that followed along with the special teams jump for the block field goals.
Yeah. Same timing. It's great.
They go hand in hand. They're perfect.
I think we got a first-time viewer here tonight.
Who
Sammy
that?
Sharp. What's up, Sammy Sharp?
Hi, Sammy, in the
How
building.
you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. He says
Absolutely.
Chubb is in the perfect spot, though, for real.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you must be a Browns fan.
Are you a Browns fan? State your claim. Football season almost here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
definitely
just
agree with
noticed that.
man.
Will,
Yeah.
we got the power tonight. We got the New England presence tonight.
Oh yeah, we're
This team
dominating.
gets
Yeah.
one.
Get this Cowboy stuff out of here.
Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Well, man, this something that's gonna play out. No, it's a lot of moving parts, and you're gonna see a theme tonight as far as the topics that we're covering, because they all are tied in together some form or fashion.
Ooh,
But that's how we do things around here.
weaving a Marvel type web. Okay.
Absolutely. But speaking of running backs who might be on their way out, the Mr. Do Everything running back that was in Atlanta last year, Cordarrelle Patterson, he may be on the way out. Not surprised there. You know, they've got a rookie and they
went and got
drafted.
Bijan, yeah.
Got Bijan. So they got 2 stout running backs. So as far as them, obviously they're going through a massive transformation in their team right now. They're getting more traditional. Because he was kind of a gimmick, but he was effective.
Yeah.
You know, and what he gave them, I had him in fantasy and things like that, but he is 32.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the final year of his contract, and they cut him. They can save $4.3 million.
Yeah, it's kind of the ideal move. It's unfortunate for him because I like what they were doing. I think they used him possibly the best out of all the teams that were like using him as a gadget. I think they did the best with him. So I'm pretty sure he'll be a little upset by that. If I'm him, I'm gonna pick up the phone. Hey, mama. I'm gonna pick up the phone and see if the 49ers need any depth. Because they just know how to use guys like that. Like Debo, McCaffrey, all they like it's all they know how to use and mix up backs.
Yeah, he needs to beat y'all up, Bobby.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Renee, how you doing?
I liked having Patterson on the Patriots. I personally think that $4.3 million that we were taught that coach said, I feel like that might be chump change. Having him around as a veteran present for Bijan would be, I think, a fairly smart move just to have him as a just in case back at the same time, because you can plug him in anywhere. But at the same time, if they're really strapped to hold on to that 4.3, by all means, he is 32. He's past that point. Just it's cool to let him go, and he can be plugged in just about to any other team that would need a wide receiver running back combo. So, I mean, whether they keep him or lose him, it helps someone else, but it also helps them if they keep him.
Yeah. I just think that for it doesn't seem like it's a lot, 4.3 million, but it seems like a lot more when you realize he was the most productive under you, which means it's probably more of what you were doing and how you were using him that got him to that level. So you don't pay guys like that. That's the Bill Belichick way of thinking. If you are good on your own, if you are great on your own, we'll pay you. But if you're great because of the system that we implemented, we ain't paying you.
I know he was effective last year, but Tyler Algier,
he did more.
He ran for 1,000 yards and he broke the rookie rushing record for the franchise.
Yeah, so
so they're in real good shape.
Yeah, they're in good shape because they then went and drafted a guy who's even better than him.
Yes, but you know what kind of scares me with the idea of Patterson being out there? I can see a team like possibly the 49ers picking him up.
That's what I just said. I was saying he should call the 49ers because they're perfect for his type of style. Like they know how to use backs and mix them up, and also guys who can play receiver. Like he'll be like the guy you never know where he's at, and wherever he is, you better focus because. And then he could just be a decoy. It'd be a great pickup for them. I think
scary.
I think Philly would do well with him too.
That's true. That's true.
Wait, who was that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Philly.
Yeah. Well, no, I was about to say I'm about to throw in a dark horse there just because the Panthers, because you can't trust Miles Sanders. They need a running back that could go dual with Sanders. Just dark horsing it out there, throwing the Panthers in that mix.
Yeah, and they could be, but he just came from the Falcons.
And I was just about to say, it's the same division. You get to play that team that just lost you, that you'd be pissed at, that they cut you on your last year.
Yeah, it depends. It depends if he's chasing money or a championship.
Yeah, if he's chasing money, he can go to Carolina. If he's chasing the championship, Philly or San
He needs to run far away from Carolina if he's chasing the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought it was pretty interesting, but we'll see how that one plays out as well. Now, this next one before our first commercial break of the night, it's surprising, but it's not. This is involving the quarterback. I guess it's a competition somewhat we have going on in Tennessee. We talked about it and joked about it last week with Levis.
Tannehill and Jake Locker?
You're not even going to the disrespect for Levis, man. But they say Tannehill is holding his own. He's actually got a stronghold on that team as far as the QB1 job. Which is surprising.
I totally think that the comparison to Jake Locker is so mean and bad because Jake Locker could actually run. Will Levis, on the other hand, I am completely on this guy's side. You don't get very many rookie quarterbacks, especially in the second round, that can come in and start right away. You don't draft a second-round quarterback unless you're the Bengals who draft Andy Dalton in the second round to start. I think he needs a year behind Tannehill. Well. I think he'll be fine, and he could do all right. But he's not a come out and start right now quarterback because of we saw how he went in Kentucky. His junior year was outstanding.
Time out.
But let's go ahead.
Time out. We don't have to. This is some revisionist history because your exact words were the most NFL-ready quarterback in the draft.
He's got intangibles. He's got intangibles for it. But the thing is, you don't want a guy like him to go out there and straight up flop.
I don't think intangibles means you could navigate through changing coaches. He did not.
But he also lost most of his team, and he's played in the toughest division in college football.
Yeah,
fair enough.
There's plenty of those. Plenty of those guys. AJ McCarron played in the toughest division in college football. A lot of guys did. Tebow did. Just playing 100%,
but I still think a year behind Tannehill would do Levis well. And I think in year 2 of his pro career, I think he comes out and he takes over Tennessee, and he'll do better out of the 3 quarterbacks currently in Tennessee.
Got to take advantage of all that Tannehill knowledge, huh?
Yeah.
Now,
you think Tannehill gets a bad rep, or you think everything he gets is deserved?
I actually think he's overachieved for what his like he was at A&M, right? Playing receiver.
I think he played 1 year.
1 year of quarterback. And then he comes up and he gets put in a spot where in Miami, he never really had a chance. They never had teams good enough. Now, he wasn't good enough to elevate them at the time, but they weren't good enough. And then the minute he went to Tennessee and got that job, they started playing better because he actually could get the ball down the field. And look, I think he's overachieved still.
And they weren't relying on him throwing it the whole time because they had Henry to pass it off to.
Yeah, but that's what you do for a guy who, look, he
wasn't
do that
drafted for a Mac Jones.
Yeah, he wasn't drafted or picked up to be Brady or Manning. So for a guy like that, you got to give him all the help he needs, and a running game is definitely a big part of that. So
now, you know what's kind of weird is I'm looking at a little bit of his history. Obviously, he was a receiver, as you had mentioned.
Yeah.
Around about, I think it was a sophomore year, he and Gerard Johnson competed for the starting quarterback position, and so he made the switch his sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
So they competed, but he got beat out for that job. 2010 rolls around. He was still playing wide receiver at that point in time for the first 6 games. And then he attempted 4 passes during the season opener. So he was still kind of unstable. So really, he didn't really get his first really gig at the starting QB until, like we said, his senior year. But I'm just looking. It's like he was a number 8 overall pick.
And that's in an era where quarterbacks are groomed since like Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Like
That's
this is
Trevor Lawrence story.
So that's what I'm saying. We groomed the quarterbacks very, very early, and we also signed him early. And he made the switch. Mind you, he made the switch at a major school at Texas A&M. Like that's not a little school.
You know, at the same time, Tannehill could also be part of the whole. You know, you have a few good plays, or you show yourself in a few in the light, and you look really good, and people bite on you. Now, I'm not going to compare that. Forget that. I ain't even going to say that because Jadeveon Clowney was really good, but a lot of people were sleeping on Jadeveon Clowney until he made that hit against Michigan. Then he started getting a massive following, but his play also backed him up.
Now,
after that,
starting quarterback, A&M, number 8 overall pick, threw for 5,450 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 21 picks. If that's not average, that ain't average. So yeah, I believe when we started this segment, when Will said he's overachieved.
Mm-hmm.
They got him, they got Levis, and Malik is still there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Willis. So they really don't have any quarterbacks right now.
Yeah.
So I will probably say that whole transition, y'all might have a new head coach next year.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Vrabel, which I think I don't think y'all will skip a beat, to be honest.
Vrabel, I like Vrabel, but yeah.
I like Vrabel a lot. If Ohio State I don't ever hope this, if Ohio State, for whatever reason, just flopped this year and Vrabel did get let go of Tennessee, he's who I want Ohio State to go get.
2. Coming in.
Mike V gonna be QB.
Coach always says 2 coming in with the hot fire.
Hot fire. Man, y'all ready for first break for tonight, man?
Sure, we can do that.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna take our first break for tonight. Be back by 15-20. Hold on to your butts. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's cornerback Dalvin Bro here from your favorite team, New Orleans Saints. I just want to go ahead on and give a shout out to STWF Media for allowing me to come on and talk about my testimony, my story, and also talk fantasy football. I just want to say thank you, man, for the honor. I appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tonight at 7:30 Central Time. Bro Show out.
Hey, we played. We played the Lakers at Cancun o'clock.
Cancun o'clock.
Set that shit up.
That's funny. Jake, when the Jets play, man.
The Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, not for a while. Hopefully, they're about to lose their entire team.
That's funny. So, like I said earlier, we got a little bit of a theme going tonight, so we can go back to the running back talk. As we mentioned earlier, we got my man Cook that's a free agent out there. He was released last week by the Vikings. Now, he's been rumored to, I think Vegas odds have him favored to go to the Dolphins first, Cowboys second, which I don't get that.
Why?
But, yeah, I know, right?
No, I'm saying, why don't you get that, though?
Nah.
You guys need to replace Zeke, and he seems like a guy who can do it.
We got 4 people on squad already.
Yeah, but we have already.
It's running back though.
We have already said this in the past, though. You're going to replace Zeke with Zeke.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy. He spent too much time in the on the table.
Infirmary.
Now, obviously, he got released last Friday, but his market is not shaping up exactly like he probably anticipated it to be. But then again, it's kind of expected because this is kind of the dead period. They want to go through OTAs, see what they got, and then from there make a decision if somebody wants to take them to camp with them or not. So I get that.
Running backs you can stall on again because the systems aren't that they don't change for running backs really.
No.
Maybe a few different blocking schemes here and there, but the gaps don't change.
True.
No,
Now-
I'm never.
You could wait on him and wait for guys to get hurt. It's also the most easiest replaced position, and you can pick up guys undrafted who can go kill you. So you got to wait for the injuries to start rolling in. Running backs always overplay their hand.
They do, because that is running back by committee now.
Yeah. It's too much. It's too easy.
You very seldom see any get big money on a second contract.
Almost never.
Yeah, and I on that with Will about, it's the most easyable, plug and play type of position. Joe Mixon went out and Samaj P. Ryan stepped up and looked like a better running back at some points than Mixon last year. I mean, so you can really move around and find. Dalvin Cook in Minnesota with Alexander Mattison behind him. He was like that for 3 straight years. Whenever Cook was out and not playing, Mattison went in there and was an absolute stud.
That's true.
Yeah, I think they got to have a rule. I think Vikings are going to have a rude awakening though, starting Madison.
Absolutely, because he's the guy that you throw in there when your star is down and people ain't got film on him, so he runs all over you and looks good. Once he's playing for 2-3 weeks, they're going to have film on him and know where the ins and outs are in their running games. I won't say it will be obsolete, but it won't be, what they've seen in the past.
And it's not even just film; it's just the beating.
Yes, because he's going to be doing full-time snaps.
Yeah, it's easy to stay healthy when you're the
I don't think he's going to be the starter. Oh, well, he's going to be the starter, but I don't think he's going to be the starter by the time the year is over with.
Yeah, probably not.
Because I forgot they drafted McBride, even though he was a 7th-round pick. I think he's going to be serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne McBride from Alabama, Birmingham.
Yeah.
If he was here, you would have heard the first topic. That was what we started with.
Now, hey, Will knows for a fact. Will knows that I'm never one to shy away from patting myself on the back, but I was the first one to say Dalvin Cook is a great Miami fit, just so you know.
Yeah.
They definitely going to be in Miami. I thought a dark horse team that I had mentioned was the Dolphins. I mean, not the Dolphins, but the Broncos. But evidently, they're not interested in them.
I mean, to be fair, every single back that becomes free, we mention the Dolphins. If we're just going to be honest about that, because they need a back, they have needed a back, and
they got a loaded back though. Core, I think it might be a topic later, so I really don't want to jump ahead.
I mean, they still have Gaskin and A-Chain, but they have.
I was going to say, who do they get rid of though? I think Mostert's the one that you'd part ways with because he's injury prone. But then again, Dalvin Cook is injury prone himself. I get that understood.
You just keep him
Mostert
on.
gets hurt.
Keep him on to get a full season out of you.
Keep him on and cut a putter or something. Who knows?
Now, a curveball of a team that might be out there is the Jets.
No, they're not going to do this.
Robert Saleh said the team would turn the stones over on Cook.
Yeah, I just think it's lip service.
But it makes me question how healthy is Breece Hall's ACL.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, fine. That the only way I can see this being a real thing is if Breece is not coming back at all this year. If that's the case, then yes. But they signed Israel out of
They did. Out of Pitt.
Yeah, they drafted him. So that he seems to be, I would expect him to be the guy until Breece gets back, and then you have a 1-2 punch, very similar to the Dalvin Cook, Madison, or whatever Madison 1-2 punch. I think they're very similar in that way. Breece Hall and Israel will be. Now, like I said, if you are looking at the progression and you're seeing that Breece won't be back at all this year, okay, then yeah, you turn the stone over on Dalvin for sure.
I can definitely see that. What did two say? Jets carry like 7 running backs anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And got to give Rodgers everything, even if Breece comes back. Yeah,
I can see that. Miami up.
Are they?
Yeah, just by 3 though.
Okay. First quarter?
Nah, 2 minutes in the second quarter.
Okay. So next up, let's say we're gonna keep this thing going. Now, this one is not a running back thing, but it surprised me, not because of this player being available, but because of the team that is rumored he may be going to. And that's one Chase Young.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Of the Washington football. So what are they now? Commanders now or something?
Commanders, but they couldn't get a trademark. They're just a fucking train wreck. That's what they should name their team. The Washington train wreck. Just
now,
get that shit.
Now the team who is possibly will have his services in the trade is the one Pittsburgh Steelers. So they said they've got a change in philosophy with Omar Khan taking over as a GM. And they say he's kind of known to being more aggressive and bringing in players from the outside of the organization to try to, upgrade the roster.
Right.
But that's something that they haven't done in the past because they usually, all the talent is usually homegrown. But you got to think that already they brought in Patrick Peterson, Chandon Sullivan to help, show up the secondary. They got Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts to help, at the linebacker spot. So it sounded like a complete overhaul of their defense, which I don't think was too bad last year.
Yeah, look, nothing helps secondary out better than a pass rush. So going to get Chase, I just would worry about how much capital they're going to give up for him because he's had injury issues.
Yes. Each of the last 3 seasons, I think?
Which are also each of the first 3 seasons of his career.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I stepped away for a minute. I don't know if they were named. I've heard a team that is very interested in Chase Young that would take him are the Detroit Lions.
That'd be amazing.
That I can see.
Just because I've become a surrogate Lions fan somehow.
They said that they would, because that would, their defensive line needs a lot of help. Their linebackers are non-existent, and their secondary got a boost. So they need some help getting Chase Young on the defensive line to go along with Aiden Hutchinson. That could be dangerous.
As soon as we say any injury issues, he gets the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think his impact could be if he did go there?
Look, healthy, he's an amazing talent. Now, he probably won't be what he was drafted to be, but I could still see him basically Jadeveon Clowney level, where, yeah, you're not the guy that we thought we were getting, but you're still
the team.
But you're still giving your services, and you're still pretty good.
You still got to be the number 2 option.
Yeah, like you still got to be watched, and they're building on that Lions D line. So we'll see.
Then they did decline his 5th-year option. Not surprising, because of the injury that we mentioned, or injuries that we mentioned,
multiple.
But he was a defensive rookie of the year in 2020. But he's only had 1.5 sacks and 3 tackles for losses in the 9 games the following season before he had the knee injury from last year.
Rough.
I'm sorry, 2 years ago, and then that cost him all but 3 games of last year.
And
I feel like that was forced.
And it's not a situation where he was alone on a defense and he didn't have any help to get him free. He did have guys.
Yeah, I think
Montez Sweat was there.
I think they've got the best defensive line in the league.
Right. So they
got Josh Allen. Jonathan Allen, Sweat, as you said. They got Jerome Payne, all first-round draft picks.
Yeah. So he's had help. He just hasn't been himself. I want to see the kid get back to himself. I don't want to see him do it there. I don't care if he does it there. But I would love a change. Maybe a change of scenery itself would just help. Go somewhere where you're not having to live up to where you were drafted. You just gotta go play.
You got new ownership coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about to have new, they probably let it ride this year, but they're probably gonna have a new coach next year, probably a new GM, new everything.
Plus, then if you get traded for assets, even though you're gone now, the old fan base won't look at you as like this was horrible. Like, yeah, it didn't work out, but we got something out of it. We think
they're gonna get out of a 5th, 6th round pick?
Yeah, 5th or 6th pick, 5th or 6th pick. But like, hey, we're seeing random times where 5th or 6th picks end up being a running back that's great, or which they need, by the way, or like it can be anything. So Yeah, NFL draft is a little different, as y'all should know. We covered it very well.
Very, very well.
Too well.
Now, good segue. So speaking of the Lions, or it probably is the Parlay and STW's surrogate team.
Yeah.
At least for most of us, too.
It's called, yeah.
But Dan Campbell's take on Jared Goff. According to Dan Campbell, he actually had mentioned in his opinion that he think Goff played at a really high level last year, and we all agreed on that.
Yeah.
And also McVay agreed with him as well. And according to McVay, he's talking to Mike Florio. He says, "I'll tell you what though. When you watch what he did last year, he played great, and I think because he's so." Let me see. What does it say? He has the repetition is the mother of learning. The more you play, the more you learn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
1,000 hours theory, right? A 10,000 hours theory.
Yeah.
What up? Just keep doing it.
But here's the thing with that, and shout out to McVay for taking the high road. But we know how that thing ended in LA.
Yeah.
It was very messy, and that young man's confidence was just shook. He got a fresh start in Detroit. And so last year, he ranked 5th among qualified players with a 61.1 QBR, 7th with a 99.3 passer rating, 6th with 4,438 passing yards, and tied for 5th with 29 touchdowns. He looked like the player that we thought he would be when he was the first overall pick last year.
Mm-hmm.
Got a coach that believes in him.
Yeah, now we're gonna get some weapons back too.
Yes. Do you think he gets an extension with Detroit? Now they did sign a quarterback. I'm sorry, they drafted one, right?
Yes, but I don't know. I
don't remember who it was.
It wasn't one of the main.
Was it the guy from Tennessee?
Did they sign Hooker?
It was Hendon Hooker.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's the guy who needs a whole year to get healthy, and then also is already 25, so he'll be suiting up for the first time if he suits up the first year after getting healthy. He'll be shooting up at the ripe age of 26 years old for the first time in the NFL.
Oh, he's safe. So they got him. They got Nate Sudfeld, Fluker, who's a rookie we just talked about, and Adrian Martinez all on the roster right now.
Yeah.
So
they got Goff basically.
Yeah, I can probably see them signing Goff, to maybe 4-year contract extension.
Yeah. Remember they
because you're going to have Hooker on. Yeah, they're going to have him on, on a rookie contract. I think it was a 2nd-round pick, right?
Yep.
So no, he was 3rd. No, he was 2nd. And they took the running back. They took Gibbs in the 1st round. I forgot about that.
I enjoyed that pick, even though everyone hated it.
But shout out to Goff, man. I'm glad he found his landing spot. I was a big fan of Goff when he was played at Cal in college, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Was it Cal or UCLA? Yeah, it's Cal. UCLA was Rosen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bust.
Big time bust.
But if you're a UCLA quarterback, you don't expect anything less.
What?
I hate UCLA. Sorry.
What?
Little known fact about Jake, I don't like UCLA anything.
Man, hold on, man. Got number 8, got 3 Super Bowls, dog. You talking noise now.
Yeah, he got some random hate there. It's funny.
Oh, man.
It's Mick Cronin's fault. You guys know I love Xavier, and anything that has anything to do with UC that anywhere it goes, I dislike it. But I disliked UCLA well before that anyway.
So then it's not his fault.
He just made it worse.
BC. Bethune-Cookman.
Bethune-Cookman. So we're going to take our last break for the night. We trucking right along tonight, man. Appreciate everybody's hanging out with us tonight, doing our thing. We're getting ever so closely. Actually, I feel like we need to get a countdown to when the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
Like an actual, like a clock or something, so we know what's going on. Because I don't know about y'all. I'm amped, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for sure.
I can't tell.
As much as I am enjoying baseball season this year, I'm starting to get that football itch. I broke out Madden again. I'm like, well, you know what? I kind of am excited for football. Let's go.
I'm reserved when it comes to baseball. We got thumped by Tampa Bay this weekend, 2 out of 3.
Man, it's Tampa Bay. What else do you expect? That team's unreal this year.
Yes, they are.
And that means there'll be bums next year. They're a weird team every year.
Up and down, up and down.
You know, I really wish Baltimore would go back to being
bums. Yeah, they could get back to the basement of.
I want them to be there because this is getting annoying. I'm getting sick of being 4th in the best division in baseball. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, man, we're going to take a last break for the night. We'll be back in about 15, 20. Appreciate y'all hanging out with your boys on the Playcall sheets.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
Hey, baby! We're going to be here all day! We're going to be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party! I like this kind of party, baby!
Shout out to the great Mike Singletary with the crazy eyes.
Yeah, out of his mind. Two said, fuck that, I'm a whack-ass haymarker. What you about to go wait for that 450 bus? That 432 or whatever it is? I hate that bus, man. I hate that bus.
Well, appreciate y'all hanging out with us, man. We're on the last part of tonight's show. So to continue, we've been talking a lot about a running back tonight. We've already talked about Dalvin Cook. We've already also, we talked about who else was that? Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to make it 3 for 3, man.
Patrick Patterson too. Running backs everywhere.
Not about him. That's right.
Running back.
Now this one is probably the biggest one because this one is everybody's going to be watching this one, and this was probably one of the best backs in the league when healthy. Mr. Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
he's sitting out the mandatory minicamp. They franchise tagged him. He obviously wants to be paid, but He's already been confirmed that he will not be attending the team's mandatory minicamp that's happening this week. As they're calling it a holdout, and they're saying it's going to continue as he hasn't signed his franchise tender yet.
Fascinating.
How messy is this going to get?
It's New York media and a player who, on the surface, like with his skill, is worth every penny you're going to want to give him, or even the pennies you don't want to give him. But also the injury history. This could go back and forth for a while, folks, because they both have legitimate grounds to not budge. He did manage to give them a nasty season in his contract.
He balled out last year.
So he made it really difficult because all he had to do was get one little injury and we wouldn't be having this conversation. Or had he missed even like a couple games, we wouldn't be having this conversation really. But he played most of the games, and when he played, he killed.
That's literally the story of any NFL running back nowadays that has an injury thing. As soon as it comes to a contract year, they instantly have a really good last season. Then this happens. I had one good season, so I'm a holdout now. It happens all the time. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying, I guess, from a fan perspective, but you got to realize as a running back in the NFL, you are devalued and disrespected. You have to strike while the iron is hot.
As soon as you hit the ground.
Right. Like, they're the ultimate like comparison to when you drive the car off the lot, it immediately loses value.
Yep. Well, I mean, look, that's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what the Vikings did with Dalvin Cook. He was on the last year of his contract this year. They know he was healthy last year, was around most of the time, and had a fairly decent year, actually more than decent year, and they got rid of him before they had to pay him. So now someone else has to.
Yeah, that's the life of the running back, and that's not for long. NFL, not for long. It's also what have you done for me lately, which is where this becomes an issue because he did have a good season. So yeah, I think this is going to last a little while. I do think he'll play this year, and I think he'll play on that franchise tag because I don't think.
Sorry, I'd be scared to pay a piece of glass too.
Yeah.
Now to what Will's talking about, a little bit more insight to that. I think he's more pissed off because they probably kind of told him that they would negotiate with him, but the last second they put the franchise tag tender on him.
And paid Danny dimes.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed too. So like I'm not mad at him for what he's doing, but he gotta realize he's fighting the battle and I don't think he can win.
I don't think he will either. Now the team claimed that they have full intentions on extending him, with the tag just serving as a backup plan as negotiations have failed. But Barkley made it clear that he had no intentions on signing his franchise tender during the all-season program. And he's already skipped the voluntary all-season workouts, so now he's skipping the mandatory workouts. Now, it's kind of interesting because he got a couple of other guys that's kind of seeing what he's doing right now. Because you got Tony Pollard down in Dallas, who already signed his franchise tag back in March. So he's probably trying to see, even though it's not in the same field, but as far as setting the market, as far as what he may be looking for himself. Now, they said that Barkley may do the same thing. I think this is it's a bad person to, if you modeling it after this guy, it's going to be bad. But they're comparing his holdout. He's able to hold out without penalty the way that it's set up until the regular season begins, like Le'Veon Bell did in Pittsburgh. And we all saw how that played out.
Yeah, not well.
No, it went well as all. Now, he made a statement. I think this story is from yesterday or today, but he made a statement recently. They said it wasn't an announcement of an incoming holdout, but it seemed like it was more of an attempt to state his side of the story. And then he said it was said that he made sure to inform that he had no intention on resetting the running back market. He did turn down a deal for $12.5 and $13 million, and at that time, only Kamara and CMC had contract averaging more per year. So
he's speaking out of both sides of his mouth.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to bite him in the ass.
Yeah, that and the fact that look, a clearly better back in the last couple of years, Josh Jacobs isn't gonna get the bag. If anybody's gonna reset the market, it's gonna be him or Chubb.
100%.
And they're not doing that right now. So you're not gonna be able to break the wheel, bro. Like it's just you can't do it.
And that's crazy to me too, because Nick Chubb's not even making any noise, but I don't even know when his contract year is, to be honest with you. But
I'll say he's like the perfect running back. He just doesn't give you shit. He just runs.
Is he the best running back of his generation?
Generation? Whew, that's a big word. That's a big fucking word for this conversation.
If you're talking about in the last 10 years, you could make an argument for it.
Yeah. And Henry's going to have a lot to say in that argument.
Yeah.
That's true. So Chubb is he's got 2 years left on his contract. This year he's only a $10.8 million cap hit.
Yeah.
Next year is 12.2.
That's where it starts to get dicey because he's getting older, but it's cool. He gonna keep grinding. He'll be fine. Chubb's the man as long as they don't. And now they got a running back. I mean, a quarterback finally. I mean, he didn't play like worth shit last year, but he'll come back to form. He had a whole ass life-changing scandal and sat out for a year. Like it'd be weird if he came back slinging.
He damn near sat out for 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. I don't feel bad
before they put him on the shelf. He was balling.
Right. He was getting kicked in the face and still throwing game-winning touchdowns.
Yeah. With nothing.
With the Texans of all people. Sorry, Miss Marie, if you're listening.
Oh, speaking of that, I got a real quick side note. So your boy needed some batteries this weekend.
Oh.
No, we finally got in the game room, cleaned it up so we can start hanging out there, getting close to football season. And I needed some batteries, and guess what she brought me?
She bring you D batteries?
Some Houston Texan batteries.
How dare she? That's an
And she was laughing as she
That's
put
a
it in
flex
the road.
though. That's a flex though.
Strong flex.
Just like not even looking at the control, just looking at you and dead in the eye as she puts it.
That's exactly what she did.
Coach, if you could somehow like show us what was the facial expression when you saw these batteries.
Why you putting that shit in my remote?
I'm not playing with you, woman. Get it out.
They're not gonna work half the time. Love you, baby. I'm just playing.
I tell you this: every time that controller don't work, you just gotta look at it and be like, "Yep." Texting batteries.
Yeah, these I-45 ass batteries.
That's incredible.
Oh man,
yeah, that's good.
Now, this next story,
not so reliant.
Oh, the puns. I love it.
Yeah, I'll be here all week.
So this next story, I'm curious if you guys are interested in it. It does involve your team. You got one DJ Fluker, who's a free agent. He's available. He's one of the high profile players who's scheduled this week. I think he was in there today, if I'm not mistaken. So, do you think he's something? He's a good fit for you guys. Are you interested in possibly signing him?
So I know exactly what's going to happen here. We both are going to like this. We both want him, but we also have had a conversation where we both actually really want Jadeveon Clowney. We want them to go get Clowney instead. Maybe not instead. Yeah, Clowney's available. We kind of want him. But look, if we don't and we get Fluker instead, I'll take that for sure.
100%.
I'll take that.
Now, he is 32. He last played in 2020, but he slimmed down by 40 pounds.
That might not be a good thing.
But that could be him getting healthy.
It could be him getting healthy, but he's supposed to be a big ugly. We need big uglies if you're going to play that position. But yeah, look, I don't mind. I'm more worried about them missing 2 years and how that'll affect his body at 32. But
who's the right tackle that's there now? Because y'all lost Wynn in free agency, right?
Yeah.
Thank God.
I think we got Riley Reef. I think he's gonna be. He might play right tackle.
He could be all right, but he really didn't do all that much for the Bengals the 1 year that he was there, and his best years were definitely in Minnesota. But I think, like me and Will were talking over the weekend, we on both sides of the ball, we need line help.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to get Mac a weapon, I think that we have competent weapons 1 to 5 right now at wide receiver. If we could get help on both sides of the line, like we said, Jadeveon Clowney, or at this point, DJ Fluker, I'm perfectly fine getting either two of these guys. Yeah. Or if we could somehow snag both because we have the cap room, do it. I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, if we can snag both, that's cool. The reason why I'd rather the defensive lineman is just because I think our team is going to lean on our defense a lot more this year.
And last year we had a very hard time getting to the quarterback, and getting a guy like Clowney would open up Clowney himself and Judon.
Yeah. And
they already got Devon Godshaw in the middle. This defensive line could get a massive bolstering if they went out and got Clowney.
Yeah. So, and I just feel like Fluker's good on the O-line, but like he's more of a pass blocker, correct?
I would say so.
I don't want to be passing enough to need him. If I'm being honest. That was also part of my stance on not necessarily wanting D-Hop all that bad either. Like, let the young boys learn with Mac.
Right. Let
them blossom together. We already have veteran presence in Parker and Juju. And even Bourne, if they ever let him play again. I don't know whose wife he flirted with, but that dude was in the doghouse all of last season and never got on the field.
Look, I think he forgot to pet Belichick's dog.
He did. I think he kicked Belichick's dog because he did not get on the field at all after a certain point. But yeah, we'll see what happens this year. Like I said, I really don't want to be passing all that much to need a pass blocking tackle that badly.
Exactly. I want to be running. I think they need to let Mondre eat all year and let the defense smother people. I want Ramondre Stevenson to be in the damn Pro Bowl this year. He deserves it. I think he's going to be a great back. He's going to be top 5. I'm calling it now. This year, top 5 in the league.
No. Hey, look, I'm cool with that. But you said it. You said a magic word we don't say here.
What's that?
Deserve.
Oh, I said deserve. You're right. I might have said that. I was like, I want him to earn that.
There we go.
Oh. So our last story for tonight, like I say, we had a theme tonight. We started with a running back. We're going to end with a running back. And this one is time for reflection. So I think somebody had mentioned this guy earlier.
Miles. Jake.
Miles Sanders. Formerly of the Eagles, he's now with the Panthers. So he addresses his Eagles exits. Now, the Panthers signed him to a 4-year, $25 million deal. Now, he's 26. He had career highs last year. We had 259 carries, 1,269 yards, 11 touchdowns, and he led the Eagles. He helped lead the Eagles to the top seed in the NFC. Now, he did have a snap share of 53 and 57% in 3 of his 4 seasons in Philly. Now, he is a former second-round pick, and he was not really a major factor for being drafted that high. But he did acknowledge the opportunity, to have in Carolina to try to be, a 3-down player.
Yeah.
And play with, the rookie Bryce Young on the center. But he did take a back seat in the Super Bowl to Gainwell. He only had 7 carries in the Super Bowl. So,
yeah. I mean,
according to him, the last game of the season for all of the marbles, everybody can answer that question. Sanders said after he was asked if he was upset over his playing time in the title game. If they put themselves in my shoes, would they be happy? I don't want to make headlines, but if it does, I don't care. When speaking about his decision to leave Philadelphia, he added, I can get into that another day. Maybe you should ask them why I'm not moving here, on why I'm moving here. So he sounded a little bitter.
Yeah.
But he got paid.
He got his bag. He got a chance to play in the bowl. Shut up.
I would be interested to find out what went into that decision not to play him when he was your leading back all year, though. I would like to know.
Hey, look. If I want to uncover Super Bowl secrets, I want to know why Malcolm Butler didn't play first. I'd much rather know that than this running back situation. But yeah, look, I just think they went into a mode of wanting a pass catching back out there as well, the threat of a pass catching back, and Gainwell can do both.
Right.
So I think he just provided. I think when you see Miles Sanders back there, it's almost for sure going to be a run if he gets the ball. Whereas with Gainwell, anything could be called.
Yeah, but they used all 3 running backs in that Super Bowl too. Boston Scott went out there and was doing plays too as well. Like they were doing it by committee.
They were doing that all year anyway. I don't know why he's crying.
Now, they do still have Gainwell and Scott, as y'all mentioned, but they did trade for Swift on draft night, and they signed Penny via free agency. Pretty loaded room. It's pretty loaded room.
Yeah.
Then you got 2 guys who missed a lot of time because of injury. But yeah, I'm gonna throw a little shade and hate that way. You know your boy. But
yeah.
At the end of the day, he got paid. He should be happy. I don't like all the how people talk after they leave. Just let it be.
Well, that's because if you talk before you leave, ain't nobody gonna sign your ass. Stop running your mouth.
Yeah. That's true.
People don't want to sign some loose lip asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting talking about stuff in the locker room.
Yeah, cut that out. You're giving out trade secrets.
But there's some young folks. There's some youngsters nowadays, man.
Yeah.
They be all on their emotions and stuff.
All up in their feels.
Man, who y'all got for shout outs tonight?
These guys are younger than me at this point, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting old, buddy.
I promise you, Jake. It only gets worse.
Yeah. You can be Walmart right now where you're watching guys' sons play.
Right? Yeah, no.
That's already started for us. That's for at least for my age.
Yeah.
Leinert's kids coming up now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's some bullshit.
just being a college basketball fan the way I was growing up watching it. Yeah, man, look at all these old dudes out here playing college ball. I can't wait till I get to, because I was a kid that wanted to play college ball, right? I can't wait till 5'9", right? I can't wait to get up there and try to play ball and all this shit. And then I get up and here I am, 27 years old. Man, these kids are younger than me. What the hell?
Yeah.
Now that liner, his son, that's the one, the baby mama that hit the lottery twice, right?
Probably.
Cause she had a kid with him, and she had a kid with your boy that used to play for the Clippers.
Oh shit, she's doing things.
What's his name?
She out in these streets.
They used to dunk real hard. I'm drawing a blank on him.
Who? Oh, Darius Miles?
No.
Blake
Griffin.
Oh, okay.
She hit the lottery, man.
She's out here in these streets.
Yeah, she's doing her thing.
Yeah. I didn't know she got Little Liner though. I thought she got.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He got to be better than his dad. His dad was booty.
Yeah, he just surrounded by talent.
In college, it was just guys everywhere.
Yeah.
So, who got shout outs tonight?
I got shout outs for everybody who joined us. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to you fellas. Shout out to Toot doing big things at whatever little conference he's at, man. He'll be back probably tomorrow. Chopping it up with us. I think yeah, I'm gonna give Toot the MVP, man. He was on the block. He was in here.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, you know
shout out to you folks.
Absolutely.
Brand.
Yeah, the normal shout outs from Jake, shout out to you fellas. Shout out to Unk, saw him in here earlier. Possibly the last NBA Finals game today, so shout out to the NBA season. Looking forward to it later on this year again.
After 10 days.
There we go. And then we also, got gonna figure out how to get us a little countdown for the NFL season.
I'm still here.
I'm still here. He's like, I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere.
But yeah, no, we're getting done before I have to get ready for work, so I still get to lay around and be.
You're welcome.
10 minutes. I'm always scared to shout out Will's mom because I think she hates me still.
No, she's good. She's good. She don't hate nobody.
Shout out to Diggs, BTW7. Shout out to my man Bobby. Shout out to Aunt Marie, Sammy, Renee. Miss Renee, my apologies. If I forgot anybody, my bad. But much love to y'all, man. Like the guy said, we got the chop up coming tomorrow. Our favorite show that we always have. You know what I'm saying?
Can't wait. Tune in. I got a 50-point list. You know what I like my list? We're gonna do it.
Yes, sir.
But man, we appreciate y'all hanging out with your boys tonight, and nothing but love to everybody. I think basketball season is going to close out tonight, but we'll see. But we'll be back here Wednesday to discuss that. But nothing but love, peace, and Haggerty's, as Don Cornelius used to say. Appreciate y'all. Dudes.
Later.